Hello and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series Free Agent Combine. I am the Crushinator, and I'm going to be bringing you a couple series tonight, but I'm not alone. I am with Hunter. How you doing tonight, Hunter?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. I'm excited to see what these free agents have to show us today. To give you an idea of the format, I'm going to be doing two sets of basically best of twos. The maps are set. These teams are going to be playing a couple games and then switching around as the night goes on. There's a whole ton of different casters on tonight. Bahamut's on. The Nexus Gaming Series main channel is on. Sergeant Scoops is out there. A lot of stuff to watch tonight. What are you? Is there anything you're looking forward to here, Hunter? Any big, heroes you want to see out of these free agents?
I think the main thing, I used to be a tank player, so it's always fun to see what the different tank players play. A lot of them have like a specialty that's not the typical, Joanna. Love seeing some Muradin in there. Anything that can get pulled out. But overall, I'm just excited to see some good Heroes of the Storm action.
Absolutely. The tanks have become a little bit of a tit for tat lately. You see, the Diablo come down, you see Johanna, maybe Garrosh, and that's kind of been it lately. Sometimes you'll see a Mei thrown in there if you've got a Mei specialist. But yeah, not a lot of Muradin, and seeing a very skilled Muradin is always very fun. So I would be very excited to see that here especially. Looks like the teams are rearing and ready to go. We're going to be going to our game number 1 here on Dragonshire, as chosen by me, because I love this map. It's awesome. Let's get into the draft. Let's see how these teams clash. We've got blue versus red, as these are not established teams. These are pickup groups, so that's how we're referring to them today. I'll have to see. I mean, Dragonshire, what do you feel like are the power picks here, Hunter? Is it a top lane matchup, or is there something else that these teams should be looking for?
So Rexstar is always a great pickup. Lily ban, that's interesting. Wonder if that's because they know who's on the other team. Maybe they have a Lily player.
Could be.
Yeah, for the top lane, I feel like Rexstar or other safe top laners who can win the 1v1 reliably are extremely good, especially in these pickup games where it's more solo lane focused rather than rotational play and all that.
Absolutely. A lot of these players may not have played together before. Would be more an emphasis on individual play, and nothing is more individual than the solo lane sometimes. So
Yeah,
we see
absolutely.
Tychus banned away here by the red squad. Tychus been doing very, very well lately in terms of tank busting, and even in the wave clear department. Tychus kind of brings the noise, so not too surprised to see that ban.
Yeah, those grenade buffs really helped him out, because before his main issue was he pumped out damage, but he really couldn't do anything to the wave. But that's another big one we've been seeing a lot of.
Melting point at 7, just clear the wave and move on. It's a really, really powerful talent.
Yeah.
So we see blue going to ban the Gazlo, and it will be ultimately that Rexxar ban coming on through for red. So trying to control that top lane a little bit. There are still some options. You've got your Divas and your Urels on the board. Sometimes we'll see a Malthael if you've got a particularly skilled one here on Dragonshire. But first pick is going over to blue. What are you taking here, Hunter, given these bans?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I was gonna say a safe tank or a safe DPS. Cassia is one of those.
Cassia can definitely do a lot, fit into a lot of different compositions. You can do that big auto attack carry Cassia, or you can do the poke with the Q build. Mr. Papercut going to go ahead and respond with the Diablo here. Diablo is pretty strong into Cassia. A lot of stuns and roots that peel off that armor.
And they don't have Tychus available, so there's not too many tank killers that are popular right now. Diablo has a big health pool. Cassia is not the best for knocking it down.
So Korsakov probably going to have to play a little bit safely into the big red machine there. One thing that is still up here is Hogger. Not necessarily sure whether these teams have a Hogger player. Doesn't look like it's going to be prioritized so far, as Tudimos is going to grab the Johanna, and Viper's going to be playing Kharazim. Interesting pick there on the Kharazim early there, Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. It might denote that they're trying to blow up Diablo with Blush Shield and Karzim ulti. Or it could just be a pick that he's very comfortable on. I think Viper is a Karzim player, if I remember correctly. So,
We have seen Viper play some Karzim in past NGS seasons. If you're comfortable playing around that Diablo, using those dashes to get away after the combos come out, you do have some room to move around a Diablo.
yeah, and Diablo, if he dives too deep ahead of his team, it can be a real problem against Karzim. Karzim pumps out a lot of damage for a support for sure.
So no prioritization on the top lane just yet. That will continue as Ewok is going to lock in the Junkrat here, and it'll be a Sylvanas for Dead On.
That is a lot of wave clear. A lot of safe wave clear too. Diablo's going to have to be careful this game with his team being so far back, but Sylvanas is allowed to pump out a lot of damage. Cassia's not too great into these. The blind doesn't do that much. Poke damage is hard to hit onto a Junkrat and a Sylvanas. So.
Absolutely. Korsakov going to have to really work the edges, watch out for that Diablo, but like you said, not a lot of follow-up if the Diablo goes too far in. Yutaru and Tiger going to round out this draft with a Thrall and a Hanzo here, and a quick lock onto Sonya from Traxxas.
So Thrall into Sonya isn't the worst matchup for Thrall. It is, he can do Rolling Lightning if he wants to go green build and just melt her down. He pumps out a lot of damage too. So, but it really matters because he can still go for a dive onto Junkrat and Sylvanas. He has the damage to do so.
Two pretty flighty comps here, Hunter. Not a lot of sort of line up and move down the middle. We've got, Thrall wants to work on the edges. Hanzo, Cassia kind of want to work on the outside, as does Sylvanas and Junkrat. Who's going to really seize the initiative in this early game, or is it just going to be sort of a clear the waves and wait till the late game advantages?
I feel like Red Team really just wants to wave clear early. They have the Diablo who's weak. They have very safe wave clear with Sylvanas and Junkrat. And they have theoretically the winning 1v1 matchup in top, Sonya versus Thrall. But Blue really has options, especially once they hit 10. The instant engage, they have a ton of CC. They can, if the Karzim plays it right, he could blow up Diablo. They could blow up backline with Karzim and Thrall if they just dive in. I think Blue here really has to be the aggressors, especially once they hit 10 and get their ultis. A lot of CC on their side.
We'll have to see how it turns out. We're loading in here to our game number 1. On the left, playing for the blue team, Tiger is on the Hanzo, Tudimos on the Johanna, Viper is playing Karazim, Korsakov PBE on the Cassia, and Yutaru is playing the Thrall. For on the right in the red, Dead On is going to be playing Sylvanas, Ewok on the Junkrat, Symbolic is playing Anduin, Traxxas on the Sonya, and Mr. Papercut playing the Diablo. So we load on in here to Dragonshire. It's looking pretty standard for the most part there on level 1. Anything you're seeing that's offbeat there, Hunter?
I think the Soul Shield... Oh, stacking on Sylvanas, too. He just picked that up, and they're already going for a fight. Sylvanas can get some good stacks out of this, and so can Cassia.
My goodness, this fight is really popping off. I wasn't expecting such fireworks from these teams right off the bat here, but it looks like Tudimos trying to get up and clear this wave. Mr. Papercut waiting in the bush here. Gonna get the flip onto Viper, but Karazim be able to just move on back. And, that was so a lot of fireworks, but no kills there in the early going. I was not expecting that amount of aggression there, Hunter.
Yeah, and look at top lane. Thrall almost got a kill onto Sonya, too. This is a bloodthirsty game from the get-go.
Dead On, almost taken out there by Korsakov, but Ewok able to blast them away with that mine. Checking out the middle lane, though. Look at the save. Oh, Symbolic almost saving Papercut there. But Tiger and Korsakov bringing just enough damage to take out the big red machine for our first blood of the game. Looks like Blue going to go ahead and start up on that siege camp.
it's a little risky now to rotate through the middle without your tank, so I think they dropped a little bit of soak mid because of it. Not much, but it adds up.
Symbolic being chased down by Viper here. Already sent down to half health. Viper is really on the chase, but knocked into fort range. This could be big trouble for Karazim. A fantastic chastise from Anduin. Lands that kill, but Mr. Papercut may not be so lucky. Oh, gets out of there just in time. Tiger and Tudimos, Korsakov gonna have to back off here, but still just continuing to pressure this camp. We were looking at these drafts thinking they're gonna have to hang back, they're gonna have to throw in the poke, but it's just been dive after dive so far here on Dragonshire.
Yeah, that was really aggressive. It was very good by Viper, but Junkrat barely managed to knock him over the wall. And, oh, look at Tiger here, bottom.
Tiger has to be careful there. Wasn't not quite revealed by the Flame Stomp. Otherwise, I think Mr. Papercut absolutely goes in and gets that kill. But now Tiger's starting to get healed back up by Viper here. And Tudimos coming on down from the mid lane. Oh, Deadon has to be careful there as well, as the unstoppable from Johanna is enough. And I think Deadon's got a back here. It's the poke coming out from Hanzo is just too much to handle.
Yeah, Hanzo Cassia, you saw it there. They have so much poke damage, so much long-range threat that it's able just to poke. It just blew up Junkrat.
Now Anduin could be in trouble in the mid as Karazim going straight in there. Tiger putting out some damage as well. And checking in on our top lane matchup, looks like Yotaru and Traxix are pretty well trading. Yotaru still has plenty of mana to work with there. So that point should probably go back and forth fairly steadily as the early game goes on here.
Yeah. Blue team here is getting an early camp to help out their top laners. This Bruiser camp's really going to help out Thrall in the matchup, especially since it'll give them wave clear, and if they fight in it, that's a lot of Sonya damage down.
Tara's got to be in trouble here. Traxix chases them away, didn't quite have the spear to finish off that kill, but with that Bruiser camp advancing in the top lane, there's only so long that the shrines are going to be able to be controlled by the red team. As Tiger gets rooted there and blown into the base. Look at the synergy from Symbolic and Ewok in the mid lane. Very nicely done for this pickup squad.
That was perfect CC chain there. Symbolic got the Chastise into the Junkrat root, into the Junkrat bomb. Perfect. Lined it up.
Viper chasing down Deadon there. Karazim just cannot be contained so far. Diablo being chased out as well. Johanna trying to stop the cap, and it looks like the shrine will be turned over to the blue team. But Johanna pays with their life. Symbolic and Ewok just controlling this mid lane. And we've got 3 kills to 3 before level 8s are online. I'm looking at how these teams are fighting, and I can't tell whether heroics are really going to change how the engages go.
The only thing I think heroics are going to make the engages faster, honestly, especially for blue team. They're going to have so much long range engage with the Hanzo arrow, depending on what Cassia ulti there goes.
Red's going for an invade on this camp here. Ewok comes up with those big traps. They want to try to come in and steal this. Johanna stuck in the mid. Hanzo and Thrall are chasing out Sonya in the top lane. Great recognition there from Red, knowing they had the opportunity to go in and steal that. Great work.
Yeah, whoever called that was a great call, and they're going on
could be in trouble here. Pushed over by Diablo. The Sylvanas poison is not enough. Viper with the save and the turnaround onto Ewok.
Ewok got a little greedy for that one. He almost got the Joe. It was so close that he wanted it. He could taste the kill.
The mechanical prowess coming out from these two teams right now is very impressive. Target fire onto the correct targets, being able to use those flanks. Man, this is quite the display here, Andre.
Been perfect.
Diablo going to be chased out here in the bottom lane. If you're just joining us, this is our first game of the evening. These teams are in their first of 2 games. And then afterwards, there will be some switcheroos, a couple of new players, and we'll be going for another 2. But looking at the level 10s, Mr. Papercut actually getting the flip onto Tiger. Hanzo could be in some trouble here, having to go the long way. There's the light bomb actually going to catch Hanzo. He will get out of the APOC, though. Look at that. Ball Lightning is actually knocking down Symbolic and Ewok in the backline. Tudimos avoids the mine of Junkrat. And somehow level 10s have produced fewer kills in these team fights in our first engage.
That was... Oh, look at the Dragon Strike from Hanzo. Pumped out so much damage, even through the Soul Shield from Diablo. That was so much damage.
The fight just continues on and on. Ewok waiting for the perfect opportunity to pop that mine in the background. Moving on up with the extra traps as well. Tudimos actually caught... I think that was a mine and a Diablo interaction there. As we see Sylvanas taken out, Johanna falls as well. There goes Hanzo. Mr. Papercut trying... There it is again. Mine plus Shadow Charge. As we see it... Oh, by the way, Sonya died in the top lane. Yotaru getting the best of that with less than 300 health.
Wow. This is a bloodbath, honestly. And
6 kills to 6. My goodness.
I've got to highlight how aggressive Ewok's been this short game already. It's only been 7 minutes, and he has been in there every fight. He's been a part of 5 of his 16 kills.
Just a monster on this Junkrat right now, making their presence absolutely known. We're going to see Blue go ahead and grab this Bruiser Camp to try to give Thrall some relief in that top lane. Ewok going ahead and setting up that mine just for the rotations. As now Viper could be in some trouble. Here comes the rotation. There's the APOC combo, is going to land. The stun is good. There's no minions to jump to, and that's going to be it for Viper. Great rotation there by Red.
Beautiful APOC combo, too. He hit that exactly how he needed to. Very hard for Tarsine to get out of that one.
Now using their player advantage, just threatening the camp and the fort wall in the bottom lane. Korsakov has to be careful there. Avoids the chastise from Anduin. But we've got now an empowered Siege Giant push in the bottom lane. Tudimos trying to go ahead and clean that up. Mr. Papercut on the outside wants to keep this engage going. Can't quite get the flip onto Johanna. As I say that, there's the flip onto Johanna, followed up by the mind control. Gonna have a light bomb. Not quite connect. Mr. Papercut was trying to get the pin on the fort. Looks like Symbolic is going to bail them out.
While that's been happening, though, Blue Team's been responding by pushing top into the Sonya. They're going to get the keep top.
Actually getting a little bit more siege with this Bruiser Camp, as the majority of Red was trying to siege in this whole time, but only got this fort to about half health here. Great job by Blue, as Korsakov just wants to trade into Dead On right now, knowing Viper was there for the save, playing very aggressively on that Cassian.
Yeah, that was 2 against 3, no fear at all as he went in further, and they came out ahead on that trade.
Wave once again crashing in the bottom lane. Sonya now has to clear up that Bruiser in the top, so we've got a 4v4 down here. There's the Blessed Shield. Viper tries to get some damage out. Look at the Dragon Strike just splitting the team. That's Anduin and Sylvanas down. Ewok and Papercut are going to get away here. But 2 quick kills by Blue, and we may know Sonya's going to grab the top shrine. We will not be seeing our first dragon of the game just yet.
That was so much damage. These Dragon Strikes are doing so much as they're looking for Sonya top.
Ooh, the leap to escape looks like it's going to be enough. Thrall doing a little bit of gardening with that Sundering, but looks like Traxix is going to barely get away from Viper there. Blue trying to control the rotations around this triangle, looking for the next fight, as Tiger going very aggressively into lane there. Ewok able to throw in a couple grenades, taking him below half health. And Thrall kind of has a big control over top lane. Can Blue actually find control of this bottom point? Tudimos, a little bit low on health, is going to come around the outside. I don't know if this is going to work out so much for Blue, but there's Papercut getting blown up once again. The Dragon Strike, to be sure. And what was looking like a possible busted engage coming out great for Blue.
Yeah, Blue's been doing a great job turning these fights. They've been able to stabilize enough and re-engage very effectively.
Dragon has been claimed by the blue team. Looks like they're going to favor this bottom lane. Going to blast Diablo on down with that big kick. It's going to be Thrall actually hanging out around the mid lane right now. Maybe they're looking to siege a little bit harder than they normally would. Trying to catch up this lane, but it's a 4-player defense here in the bottom lane. I don't know how much siege they're going to get here. As look at Papercut going right in. The domination combo with the APOC will not land, but there is Junkrat blasted into the backline by that Dragon Knight. Thrall has not come down to join this fight. I don't know. Blue could be in trouble here.
Yeah, they could engage off of this. They used a little bit. They are engaging. Oh my god.
Oh no,
what a kick.
Sonya blasted away with the light bomb combo. There's Cassia dropping the ball lightning, and all of a sudden Blue, what they've been doing all game is just taking these fights that don't look favored and turning them into a triple kill and allowing their siege to continue.
That was, what a play from Blue. It was looking disastrous with that combo. Well, Diablo's trading it back though. He might get 2 here.
Unbelievable. Mr. Papercut, knowing exactly how much damage they were able to put out in that scenario, knowing that trying to get away wasn't going to work, turns around and gets a double kill for the red team. Incredible coordination and recognition there from Mr. Papercut.
Absolutely. These fights are so close. Red's always been the aggressors in engages. Blue's been able to disengage it enough, re-engage after, and pick up kills. I really think they have to watch out, because if Red gets their combo right, a big light bomb into APOC, it could be disastrous.
So far, Blue has been able to escape that combo. It almost came true. The Dragon getting the perfect kick onto the light bomb Sonya to deny that engage. But if that lands next time, I think you're right. There's a lot of low targets. Cassia wouldn't have that armor anymore. That's going to be... We'll have to see if Red can pull it off here, as our next set of shrines is spawning.
Red, though, now has to worry about, they have 2 forts down. Their minions are going to be pushing, especially with that top lane bruiser camp. They really have to be careful.
Tara moving in very aggressively on Traxxas here. The APOC from Diablo to try to peel away. And we've got a very unusual fight. Symbolic self-casting the light bomb as Ewok trying to get away for a Riptire. Karazine leaves the map. It's going to be Anduin that goes down first. The trade for Hanzo. Mr. Papercut trying to tank the enemy team allows the rest of Red to escape. But, I mean, the fights can just come anywhere in this one, Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really aggressive rotation by Blue, but Hanzo's Dragon Arrow there, or Dragon Strike there, was able to land onto 3 people, chunked their health. Red couldn't re-engage, and it split them so hard that they got a Dragon with a 20 advantage here for Blue team.
See how much Siege they can do. Siege has not exactly been the priority so far this game. It looks like they're going to go ahead and try to open up this mid fort. Because once again, oh, the Dragon actually kicking away Sonya. Maybe the kill wouldn't have come through. There was a little bit of focus there, but the Dragon's still very healthy as it crashes onto this mid-keep wall.
Yeah, Red team's in trouble here. They've got to... They might still be able to get a pick, though, as they get Joanna over the wall.
Blessed by the light, shield is going to be enough. Traxxas jumps onto the backline and is kicked away again. The light bomb goes off in the bottom lane, but Tudimo's so low on health. This Dragon is about to expire. Blue has to try to retreat here.
Yeah. This will give Red some time to get 20, but it really is anyone's game still.
Papercut clears away Yotaru there. Ewok getting healed back up. The Dragon Strike is keeping Dead On in the corner. Korsakov throws out the ball lightning. That's it for Sylvanas. Papercut taken out before the last auto onto Tiger. Traxxas trying to get away. Great chastise from Symbolic. But it's still a double kill here for Blue. Couple of very low health bars. We'll see what their plan is. It looks like they're going to try to steal some camps, possibly get these lanes pushed into these keeps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Camp steal comes on through for Blue. Going for the Bruiser steal next, so Moloch has to be careful as Yotaru wants that Feral Spirit, not quite in range. Will be a successful camp steal, and the map is now fully in control of the Blue team.
Yeah, Red's just a little off on these engages. They're so close. If these engages lands, Red really got a chance here, but they're just... blue team's doing a great job disengaging every time, especially with these Dragon Knight kicks.
Absolutely. Yotaro and Korsakov going to get a little bit split there. Johanna has to pop the Iron Skin as the Dragon Strike rolls out there from Hanzo. But all the members of Red are back on the battlefield. They're only going to be able to hang out here for so long.
Yeah, Hanzo can just spam Dragon Strikes at this point with the 20 upgrade. Oh, that was a good catch on them. They're engaging.
Light Bomb and denied once again. The Riptire splitting the enemy team. Going to get reset after reset. That level 20 going to do some big work here for Ewok as it comes out for a third time. Looking for Hanzo. Hits 3 again. That's a full reset. Apoc comes out. That's Diablo that goes down first, though. Traxix spinning to try to get away as somehow Tiger's still alive. There's the Junkrat
How many
Riptire.
times is he going to get full resets on these Riptires, though?
I think that was, what, 4 casts? 5 casts?
4 ultis out of him. It was so... Red was in so much trouble. They were down ultis, and I feel like Junkrat's Riptires there were the only reason Blue backed off after only 1 kill.
Somehow Red turning out with about 9 ultimates in that fight. Surprising Blue a little bit there as Viper's going to get away. Here comes a late game Dragon Knight. See how much damage it can do. Top Keep is fairly damaged already. Both...
Diablo's down for 22. They might be able to get a keep before he's even up.
Dragon Knight is advancing, going to start wailing away on this keep. The mind control from Sylvanas will not land onto Tiger. The Dragon Strike coming on out as well. Yotaro with a great Sunder kill as the Dragon Knight boots away Sonya once again. Symbolic not able to hit with that Light Bomb. They're focusing on Anduin, and that is going to be it. Sonya down as well. Mr. Papercut able to make it back to the battlefield, but it looks like Blue, with their triple kill, are going to move on to the core, and they're going to pick up this game number 1 after an incredibly hard-fought battle and a huge bloodbath here, Hunter.
Yeah, there was about 14 kills in the first 7 minutes of the game, split evenly between both teams, 7-7. Same experience, almost the same structures, but they were just able to run ahead of it. Blue team just getting a few really good disengages, re-engaging after, and look at the Cassia damage. That's almost double the second highest in the game. That's insane damage from Cassia, with only 1 death, too.
We were looking at Cassia against the Diablo, against the Anduin as a possible problem. Korsakov might have to play a little bit safely, but the damage speaks for itself. Very, very well played there. Ewok on the Junkrat, just a force all game long.
Absolutely. He did so much damage. He got incredible concussion mines over walls, set up and followed up CC perfectly with the Anduin. They had a really good synergy that game, but it just wasn't enough.
Really fantastic stuff. Looks like our next lobby is ready. We are going to be going here to Towers of Doom. As I update my graphic here. There we go. Blue 1, map number 1. There we go. The Blastoises are up 1-0 over the Charizards.
Makes sense. Water type.
There we go. Glitterox says the Dragon was MVP that game. The Dragon saved a couple of very important team fights there, I will say that.
2 or 3 light bombs that got just completely negated because of the Dragon kick. Were they different people in the Dragon each time too? I'm pretty sure.
I think we had a couple people in there. Yeah.
Also, there wasn't a Dragon until like 11 minutes into the game.
Yeah, so I mean the teams were getting the kills, but it was just the ebb and flow of the Thrall and the Sonya up top made it tough for either team really to control for long enough to pick that up. One thing I really did like about Blue's performance there was the focus onto that bruiser camp. They knew that Sonya was eventually going to win that matchup and Thrall needed that support, and I really like that recognition.
Yeah, they did a great job, and they also Blue did a great job when they were losing bottom to split push top, and they got the fort when Red wasn't able to get the bottom fort out of Blue team. it was a very good call on their part to push.
Absolutely. So, strong game there. More kills than you normally expect, but a lot of good decisions, a lot of great mechanical play. And you gotta think, how is that going to translate onto a map like Towers of Doom? There's not quite the same helter-skelter, the same rotational power as a map like Dragonshire, where you could pretty much be anywhere, anytime. I wonder if we're going to see similar aggression, or if we're going to see a little bit more artillery from these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also not as much of an island for the offlaners, so I'm curious to see if they're going to do another like Thrall versus Sonya matchup where they're close in power to one versus one another. If one of them is going to pick more for the team.
So we'll have to see. I've been theory crafting the perfect Towers of Doom comp.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this?
I don't think anyone's ready, but I'd love to hear it.
It's gonna be Leoric, Garrosh, Lucio, Deathwing, Nazebo.
Deathwing Nazebo.
So Leoric's up there doing the business, and every once in a while, Nazebo just runs away and throws Gargantuan on a fort in either top lane or mid.
Okay.
Just sowing chaos throughout the map. It's going to be perfect.
That is a chaotic team, I'll say that. It's a lot of beefy boys, too.
Try to walk into Garrosh Deathwing, just won't happen. You can't do it.
Yeah. Melted.
It's going to take over. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe CCL. That might be a potential composition for CCL this week.
You've got two Molten Breath combos. You've got the Entomb and you've got the Zombie Wall. There's just no stopping.
And taunt if Thrall goes taunt.
Absolutely. It's going to take over. Unless you lose horribly. Then it won't take over. Towers of Doom draft is underway. As we now have Red Team first pick here in our second match of the day. Towers of Doom. We saw some bans that looked a little bit more like target bans in our first round. Are there any heroes here on Towers that you feel like warrant a first ban over a target?
Tychus was a good call. Not particularly. Like, there's Towers, I feel like, is one of the maps where you can do quite a lot. I think maybe target banning might be the call. Ewok on that Junkrat, fantastic. They might want to get him off of that. Viper was very proficient on Karazim, and also Karishkikov, I can't say his name correctly. Korskov did fantastic on Cassia. That was immaculate damage. Unless they're looking to kill him, CC lock and kill, it might be a good ban this rotation.
It's going to be the Brightwing here coming in from the red squad. You can do some global stuff here on Towers of Doom. It's a little bit less common these days. But Brightwing does help when the enemy tends to dive a lot, which we did see last game. So could be a sign here that Red is wanting to continue the aggression.
Yeah.
Thinking about their final ban, it's going to be a Vikings ban. Taking away at least one cheese. That's, that's fair. That's valid.
That's a valid, yeah. Vikings just completely changes the game. I feel like that's a good ban.
Yeah, I mean, there's some heroes where it's just, you've got your hammers, your old Asmodans, where it just becomes like Heroes of the Asmodan. It's
Exactly.
like, I don't want to play Heroes of the Asmodan today. I don't want to play Heroes of the Vikings. Dead on, locking in that first pick Chromie. Very reliable interrupts onto the channels. Some good siege power here, though can be a little bit vulnerable. We'll have to see what they surround this Chromie with.
Yeah, Red Team last game had the more dive-heavy comp. It looks like they're gonna play a little further back. Maybe they saw that they're. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're swapping roles this time.
Viper on the Deckard, Tudimos on the Diablo. So going for right off the bat, saying we are going to hit you with the Wombo.
Yeah.
That's Stay a While and Apocalypse. Not really a map I would say works for works for Lord NATO. There are a couple where you end up fighting in all these corridors. This is not one of them. So I'm expecting that big combo.
But yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of bushes for Stay a While to get a lot of value.
Solid Greymane pickup as the second damage here. Malfurion. I like taking Malfurion into Diablo myself because there's nothing Diablo hates more than being forced to stand still.
Yeah. Especially with charge.
That does mean that Red has locked in both of their damage dealers here, so that will give Blue an easier time with the bans. Smart ban onto Garrosh there, as that can also give Diablo some trouble.
Yeah, that would have been a really good combo with Malfurion, especially. You toss him into the root, then blow him up with Chromie Greymane. I agree with that ban completely.
So you've got the Diablo Deckard. They're going to ban away the Cassia. Korsakoff playing a great Cassia last game. But I think we often see stuff like Kael'thas, like Orphea. Some of those sort of wide-range blow-ups to fit with this Diablo Deckard. I feel like one of those is going to come out here. I
feel Orphea is a fantastic pick. But if they could go even a little spicier, if they want to do a setup mage like Kel'Thuzad or something, I could see it working against right now. Sylvanas makes sense.
It's going to be the Zool Sylvanas, so they still have an opportunity for that big mage in the last spot from Tiger. Played Hanzo last game. Have to see what that last pick is going to be. They're going to hide it here. Force the next two picks out from the Red squad.
Red now sees, though, that Zool, I'm pretty sure he's their offlaner. They might go something more aggressive in the offlane. Murky. Wow.
Be a Murky. All right. Well, one thing I will say is Zool can't really stop Murky very easily. You know, the Bone Prison just doesn't work. He just gets out of it. His auto attack speed isn't the fastest. Like, if you're on the pufferfish right away, you can possibly break it. But Murky is just kind of faster. So it's an interesting response here from Traxxix, but I'm really interested to see what Tiger's going to grab here. It is going to be the Orphea.
I agree completely with that pick. The main problem here I can see for Red Team is their team looks like they're going to be so aggressive. Their backline, Chromie and Malfurion, might have some issues with Diablo diving in.
It's going to be a big timing matchup, I think, on who has the cooldowns available. Because, I mean, the Wombo's going to rely on, can Deckard get in position? ETC is going to be able to do a good job of warding. Chromie has a lot of vision available to try to see who's coming from where. But, yeah, I mean, Towers of Doom is a map where eventually you have to come to an area to fight, and I feel like that favors Blue.
I agree. The other thing Blue has, too, is they have a lot of single-target lockdown, and Red doesn't have the means to save them. Malfurion's not known for his burst healing or for his anti-single-target healing, like, say, an Uther would be. And if they get a Sylvanas mind control with Zool lockdown, I feel like that target's just going to die to Orphea. So, like, I don't know what they could do about that.
We'll have to see how it unfolds here. On the left in the blue, once again, Tiger on the Orphea, Viper playing Deckard, Tunimos on the Diablo, Yotaru on the Zool, and Korsakov on the Sylvanas.
The battle begins.
On the right in the red, Traxxix is playing the Murky, Ewok is on Greymane, Mr. Papercut on ETC, Symbolic on the Malfurion, and Dead On that Chromie.
Well, what are you
Swing time.
for?
Thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the show here. As we load in level 1 here on Towers of Doom, it is going to be the Sapphire here for Deckard to try to help out with those slows.
Yeah, I feel like Sapphire with Ancestral Strength coming out from Orphea is so much damage.
Murky already in the top lane, going to force Zool to respond, so we've got the 4v4 for now. Waves do appear to be cleared as Tunimos does manage to get away from the root. Tiger getting jumped on by Ewok there, and now Red possibly on the chase. Looks like they're going to try to get some dismounts and continue these rotations.
Red's going so aggressive on the rotations, knowing that blue team's kind of weak early. It's really paying off. This Chromie damage and Greymane damage on the rotation was huge.
Playing very similarly to how game number 1 you had. Oh, that's Dudimos going down. It's the last hit from the minion. Malfurion putting Diablo right on the edge there. And, wow. Red team with the Chromie and Chromie, Malfurion, Murky ending up being the early game aggressors here as they jump onto the right side camp.
That being said, Murky right now is getting a lot of bribe stacks. He is going to be an issue if they just
Paper Cut goes in there. Viper forced out the back, but Tudimos is back on the battlefield. Now Yotaro on the backline getting a nice bone prison there, but that means that Zool has come down for this fight while Murky continues to soak these lanes. Red is going to be getting a pretty strong experience advantage from that, Hunter.
Absolutely. That was... Red went aggressive there. It was a great rotation from Zool, but they weren't quite able to get a kill out, and that's really going to get Murky ahead in this 1v1 rotation.
Mr. Papercut coming back again, but the camp is done this time. Tudimos able to ward away the rest of the red team. And checking in on our experience, we see almost 1,000 more minion experience for the red team already. That's going to have to be something that's made up, I'm guessing, probably through hero kills post level 10 for this blue team.
Absolutely. I definitely feel like blue team has the means to get some kills. They just have to scale up enough to get it, and then in the game before Murky becomes a real problem.
Altars are activating. We've got our triple spawn here as blue team getting softened up by Dead on that Chromie. Ewok actually able to step up pretty aggressively on the Greymane here. Really nice to be able to get those auto attacks off on the outside. But Altars are activating in 5 seconds. Looks like Red has the advantage for now. Can they get the 2-for-1?
Go forth.
Yeah, this is... It's definitely...
Diablo
They're
going a
looking
little
real
too
hard.
deep. That's going to be it for Tudimos.
Tiger's in trouble now, too. It looks like he's going to get killed here by picked up by Greymane.
Orphea going down as well, so that's a double kill for Red. Korsakov and Viper able to get away there. So it will be the 2-for-1 for the red team. It's looking like blue might have been able to get in position there. Diablo may have just missed the wall and got thrown right into the back line, and that's going to be a tough time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still anyone's game, though. Towers is always the comeback map, and they're not too down on XP, all things considered.
Start to back off here as we see the blue team has come on back. As I drop some frames, but that's okay. We're coming on back in. There we go. And Murky is really messing up this Zool on these rotations. This is going to be a tough time. We're going to have to see whether blue actually commits anyone to try to interrupt these rotations from Murky. As we see Tudimos actually caught by the time trap, and now Mr. Papercut's the one in trouble. Great route timing there from Viper. That's going to be a kill onto ETC.
The only thing, they rotated Zool down, and it didn't look like much, but Murky got the full wave with his pufferfish. That Murky's going to be a monster in a bit. Minion
XP actually starting to even out here, as Zool is starting to get a little bit faster on these rotations. There was some bot lane XP lost over on the red side, so experience starting to even out a little bit. Oh no, Diablo's actually caught by Malfurion there. Going to take a little bit of poke from Chromie.
Yeah, he's okay.
In the meantime, Tetcher, Gronman Hots, thank you very much for the follows. Uh-oh, Tudimos once again being caught warden in that bush, but going to come out and drink some health potions and be just fine.
Orphea's in trouble here.
Orphea actually getting time loop there. Nice recognition that Decker does not have a cleanse available. Ewok trying to roll out of danger. Oh, but that's going to be it for Greymane. Korsakov able to survive there from that Malfurion combo.
They're so low on blue team. Oh, Orphea went aggressive here. Might face.
Tiger stepping out just a little too far there, and it's going to be back to a 3v3, but blue is really softened up here. I don't know if they've got the resources to move in against this Chromie, especially now that level 10s are online.
Absolutely, and if anyone moves a little too far up, they have the Malfurion and ETC lockdown for Chromie just to blast them in the face. She's doing a lot of damage in these fights.
So now an 8-shot advantage for the red team. Korsakov almost caught out on that rotation. Thinks better of it, moves back onto the fort. But Mr. Papercut says, we're fine fighting there. Finds the mosh. They give their life for it as that keep is shelling away. ETC staying a little too long. Dead on caught as well. So Blue turning this around. Tudimos wants an engage. Pin symbolic. There it is. Didn't quite get the wiggle. Tudimos with a great follow-up, and that's going to ultimately be a triple kill here for the blue team.
What a turn. Red saw that they had the tense advantage, made a good call to go in, but they blew a little too much and stayed a little too long for that kill, and blue team, as they showed last game, was able to turn it.
Very nicely done. Chromie is going to catch blue on this camp steal. Everyone's up and available, but they don't have Malfurion. Sylvanas coming down as well. This could be a trap here if Red tries to go in. It is a 4v3, and Malfurion's not going to get here in time. Zool coming in as well. Mr. Papercut slides on through the back. There's a great silence arrow from Sylvanas. Oh, that's a big sleep. There's the APOC. Doesn't actually catch anybody. Symbolic trying to get away, but there it is. Diablo over the wall. That's going to be it for the Tree Prophet. 2 more kills for blue.
Oh, look at Orphea,
Did
too.
I say 2? Because I meant 3. My goodness, Tiger just cannot be contained on this Orphea.
Yeah, Tiger and Tootie are going so deep on these fights, and it's really showing that they're fantastic at being aggressive together.
Traxix on the Murky actually going to move across the map here to interrupt Yotaro, seeing that ETC was coming back to get the tap for the red squad. Great recognition from Traxix there, but here comes the rest of blue. Chromie is still in the base. Greymane's still in the bottom lane. Red's not going to be able to stay here for too much longer. They can let Murky mess around for a bit, but Symbolic and Mr. Papercut got to get out of here.
Doesn't matter too much if you lose a Murky. Did a good job stalling there. It really helped blue, it really helped red there with the stall, as they're going to get a lot of damage on this bot and maybe take it back.
ETC trying to slide out of trouble. This bottom fort is still up, but Ewok is locked in. That will almost certainly be going down here. Great route there from Symbolic, actually. As Murky goes down to the Zool in the top lane, and it looks like Yotaro going to take the opportunity to put that blue build online and start that camp. Oh, by the way, there's a fight in the bottom lane. Trying to feature our offlaners for half a second, but these teams just want to go. Viper gets slid on there. Oh, the Mosh isn't going to land. Viper, just too much pressure is going to go down.
Wow. Yeah, I was watching the bot while you were trying to give a highlight to the offlaners, and Chromie got a full combo on Orphea there, just able to pop her. The one problem with playing squishy low-range mages like this is you really got to be careful with first damage.
First bullet goes out onto Tudimos, forcing the tap from Diablo. Orphea has returned to the battlefield, but Deckard is still 4 seconds away. And we've got a solo bottom lane altar coming up here. Though blue has started to even up this count just a bit as Mr. Papercut can't quite find the slide. And now Zool is trying to harass Murky on these rotations, but that's such a tall order with that bubble.
Oh, Zool's actually topside for the start of this, cleaning up the wave.
Traxix has come on through. There's the Octo Grab on the outside. Murky goes down. Tiger's still relatively healthy here. So blue still looking good as Zool comes on down to join the fight. Great slide there onto Deckard. That's going to be it for Deckard. Kane, ETC killed in response, though, as Ewok, Ewok's on the wrong side of town here, getting chased down by Korsakov and Yotaro. The Boeing Prison is out, but the rest of the team cannot follow up. Great job by Dead On to ward away the blue team.
Absolutely, and that was looking so... Oh, Murky's going.
Now Tudimos trying to get away. There's the Poison Nova. Somehow not hitting anybody.
Wow.
I don't know how Symbolic and Dead On got out of that. They were right next to Zool, but no poison damage to be found as the struggle continues over this altar.
What a long fight.
Duty-Mo's looking for the tap. Chromie's got one more hit. It's Malfurion going to get through it. Ewok jumps in, and that's going to be a soul reset onto Diablo. Traxix joining the fight once again as well. Wants an Octograb target. Looking for an option. Ewok diving in again. Red just... It seems like they shouldn't have the more aggressive comp, but they're playing it so aggressively here, and they managed to get the altar.
They even got a kill on the way out, too.
Deckard going down to the pressure from Dead On as well. And Red just looking fantastic. They've got the bottom lane pressure. They've got the 4-2 on the forts. They've stolen the camp, and now it's kind of their game to control.
Yeah, absolutely. The Towers of Doom is mostly won through bot pressure, and it looks like Red's... Oh my god.
Goodness. Look at these combos. Are you sure this is a pickup group? What coordination coming on through from Red as another kill lands onto Diablo, already very low on souls, and now they're just going to set up shop here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, these moshes have been on point. The past 2 moshes have gotten 2 people or more. Every time. He is landing these moshes, and it's really helping Red team out.
Just fantastic work, really, from both squads here. I'm not seeing... Every one of these players has been making plays all series long. There's Ewok harassing Sylvanas on the outside, doing a good job of just clearing these waves and forcing Blue to make a mistake. We've got a triple altar phase here. Now, this could be an opportunity for Blue to spread on the map and do something a little unexpected here. But the Sylvanas gets pulled back. Uh-oh. Blue's starting to turn this thing around. Poison Nova onto 3. Mr. Papercut's going to get taken down. Ewok falls as well.
Wow. Right before the altar, too.
Oh no, Sylvanas caught by the root.
Just the tip of that root got her.
Unlucky there. But a third kill does come on through for Blue. Meanwhile, Murky just winning the game in the top.
He might be able to get both before they could do anything.
It's going to be close. Can Viper throw out the Herodric Q? There it is.
He might still be able to stall, though. Yotaru's out of mana. Viper doesn't really have the damage by himself.
Deadon's getting chased out by Tiger. Viper and Yotaru are trying to kill Murky here. I don't think they can do it. Duty-Mo's coming up to try to help out. Tiger following up as well, but here comes Chromie. There's Murky.
What an annoying... What an annoying...
dongling him up. Oh, there goes Murky.
I think he stalled it long enough, though. They're able to make it.
There's the slide. Oh, the Orpheus down. The mosh onto Deckard. Oh my goodness. Give it up for Murky, ladies and gentlemen.
Murky was just able to stall long enough for the Chromie, who's 18, so she does have her piercing, to do an incredibly high damage Q through 2 people, and then just blowing them up with the time loop. What a play.
Really incredible stuff coming out here. Red is going to focus on the Sapper camp here. Korsakov trying to get this fort back. Looks like they will manage to do so. But the aggressive Haunting Wave twice here, going right in onto Deadon and Symbolic. Mr. Papercut says, where are you going, fella? Ewok is going to convert that kill Deadon with the Sandblast. Now Diablo caught out, and the snowball continues here. Red team about to grab this level 20.
Yeah, Reds might be able to get... They are able to get the keep before the Sappers explode. It's going to be down to 5. Next altar could end the game. Next altar phase could end the game. Even if they
got
do
3 more here. Orphea allegedly existed for a moment there. I think we'll have to go check the instant replay to be sure. As 3 more shots are going to move on to the core. That's not enough for a boss to end the game. But it looks like Red have just been staggering these kills enough. They may go and just try for something like a 6 cap here.
Now they're trading it for more kills. They're just snowballing kills after kills, so they have the advantage. Now 2 people will be dead on blue side for the altar spawn.
You've got a double altar spawn. They've already got 1 building, so they only need the 1 altar to do it. Orphea will not be up in time. Zool will definitely not be up in time. So Blue's got to make a choice, and I don't think they can get to both of these. Greymane
Time is now,
down in the
heroes.
bottom lane here.
Claim the old
Yeah.
Can they
it's
interrupt Deckard?
over.
They cannot.
Barely.
Ewok gets the conversion. 5 shots onto core. That's it. 1-1 in this best of 2. Very well done by our 2 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, both games showed off so much from each and every player. Every player had their own moment. Every player looked strong. They had a lot of cohesion for just pickup games too. Honestly, great series. Great 2
Very
games.
nicely done. Incredible stuff. That the series there from Traxix in the top lane, just moving over and finding extra shots every chance that they could get, out rotating that Zool, recognizing the Wombo was the play there from Blue, and then Murky was safe. Really, really nicely done. Ewok just playing so aggro on that Greymane, always able to follow up on the Malfurion or the ETC, and dead on. Top damage, 63.9 there. It's fantastic stuff for Red.
Yeah, honestly, Red too. Paper Cuts and Symbolic had such good synergy with their CC combos. Paper Cut was getting great moshes. Symbolic had some great roots, especially on top of moshes or on top of Chromie loop. There's a few times where they hit it so perfectly, where Chromie looped the target, Symbolic put the root under, and then right after Paper Cut slid him just in case. It was magnificent CC chain there.
Very, very strong players, but once again, like Blue just looking great as well. Tiger able to 1v1 the Chromie on the edges. Korsakov playing in a very aggressive style of Sylvanas, and honestly worked out more times than it didn't. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Deckard and Diablo, Viper and Tudimos looking fantastic that game for sure. Yotaro kind of had their hands full, trying to keep up with that Murky most of the game, but when the impact was time to come and make an impact, Yotaro definitely came through.
Yeah, and he did. Yotaro did a good job catching the Murky, keeping up in soak. It's not an easy job, especially when he had to switch between that and going into the team fights where he had more of an impact than Murky. But yeah, it was a hard time for Yotaro, but he did a great job on Zool, I think.
Absolutely. We're going to be setting up for our third game. This is going to be new teams here. You're going to notice a lot of the same players, but there are some changes of team. There are some new players coming on in. So we're going to form up our next lobby here. As I pull up my list to confirm who's playing, we've got Transformer, Symbolic, Traxix, and Tiger and Odd Thought on Blue this time. So Odd Thought and Transformer new for our second 2 games here. And Tudimos is back. Ewok is back. We've got MJ Doom coming on through for our second series. And Korsakov and Demon Grand. So that's 4 new players. Odd Thought, Transformer, MJ Doom, and Demon Grand. So 6 returning players for our second set and 4 new players.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully this set will be just as close as the last one. Like last one, 1-1. Both teams did great both games. And honestly, those games were so exciting because of how aggressive both teams were.
I have to see whether the same profile shows with our new squads here. We've got calls for Lily in the chat. Lily has been banned twice.
That's
see
true.
whether the person, if it was one of the 4 players not returning, demanded a Lily ban. Or if our Lily banner has moved on to our next round. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see why it's banned so much. It slips through. Might have a breakout Lily performance this one.
Could happen for sure. Infernal Shrines. I mean, if you had to say this is a Lily map, what map would you say, Hunter? I'm having trouble.
It's not the worst map for Lily if you go Water Dragon, because you're so grouped up on the shrines, it can hit multiple targets.
Yeah,
Keep
okay.
going aggressive.
So I guess that's what you want on a Lily, right? You want people in the same area so you can hit them with
Yeah.
the winds. You want, if you're going with the Water Dragon, you can hit multiple of them. You want maybe a longer route of escape so that your slows take effect. Yeah, Shrines works for that.
Yeah, there's also, for the shrines themselves, there's multiple avenues to get in, so that if they have like an auto attacker, like a Rainer or like a Tychus or something, you can come in through the side and actually get the blinding on them rather than Volskaya or something where they're going to be too far back.
That is true. Got a Dauntress. I don't think Dauntress is in this one, but we've still got a few minutes here. The next round is set for 8:15. We've got a little bit more time this year. Last year we had 1 hour blocks and 1 extra block in the night, and the whole night just ran long the entire time.
Yeah.
So we're doing 1 less, and we're doing hour 15 blocks, and it's been very, very good so far. It's very nicely done on Monday, and we're right on time today. And these weren't exactly short games. They went the distance, and we've got plenty of time. Oh, Dauntress is going to observe. All right, cool. What did I think of the Anduin and Malfurion gameplay? Alright, so Anduin on Dragonshire. The thing that stood out to me the most was the chastises and how they were layered with the Junkrat stuff. So, like, we had the mines blowing people in, and Anduin was there with the root. We had the traps down that Anduin was following up with the root. Some good saves as well. So I think just seeing that CC timing, and unfortunately, the light bombs didn't work out, but they were still well timed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both games, the takeaway for Anduin, Malfurion together, it was the CC was fantastic. It was great follow up. There's a few times where it was landed raw, where it was just the root from Malfurion or just the Chastise landing, and then the rest of the team followed up on CC. There weren't too much that just completely whiffed. Like, I think almost every ability from those two heroes landed both times. All the CC abilities.
Absolutely. Euronymous, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Enjoy your emotes. And yeah, I feel like, especially with Anduin and Malfurion, both of them, they can't just hang around in the background. If they want to be ready to throw out that CC, they've got to be forward. They've got to be knowing that their team is ready to help them out. And I think that really came through in both those games.
Yeah, and more so for Malfurion, too. You have to be aggressive with your Ws to even get much healing out of the character, which I thought was played very well. The Malfurion got a lot of healing. He pumped out a lot because he was far forward enough. He didn't die often, but he was far forward enough to get the Ws, follow up with the E's. The Malfurion game was fantastic. Well, both games were fantastic, but that Malfurion game for sure.
Of course, Traxix in the chat, but that Murky, though, that Murky was doing some work. He was causing Yotaru all sorts of strife. Every time Zul needed to come down for a fight, Murky was there, just pushing those waves in. And with the extended fight style that Blue presented, Murky got a lot of value in the off lanes and even got an extra couple of shrine channels that I think other heroes don't get, which is very impressive to see there on towers.
Yeah, the Murky, there's a few, I think it was 2 times where he got such long stalls that his team was able to move into position onto the towers and win a team fight off of him from just his stalls. Which, if you're playing Murky and both teams, or the enemy team thinks you're annoying and the casters, you did a great job on Murky.
Was tremendous stuff indeed. Righty, looks like we've still got a few minutes here. What I think we're going to do is I think we're going to go to a quick break. Do I have my break scene? I do. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go grab some water. As the lobby forms up, we should be starting around 8:15. if we get some teams before that, we come on back. But don't go far. We've got the next 2 games coming at you soon.